recording.
You're listening to KJLA 680 AM Los Angeles. Marlins franchise continues to sink. Bucks gallop through the playoffs. Women's hockey's don't call it a boycott. Chicago Bears kickers kick themselves. It's 7 o'clock. I'm Lindsay Fisher with KJLA 680, brought to you by Pete's Meat. I'll cook anything. Hit something with your truck? Bring it on into Pete's Meats. We pay cold hard cash. Hungry? Stay and have a burger. We have a wide variety of meat patties just waiting for you to choose from and eat. Pete's Meats. I'll cook anything. Derek Jeter is not happy with his Miami Marlins. The Marlins CEO and former Yankee shortstop is disappointed in the team's performance, attendance, and overall business operation. The Marlins have the worst record in the majors right now at 9-21 and average less than 10,000 attendees per game. Jeter expressed that he would like to see more people at the games and hopes to gain the trust of fan base again. Winning would help, but the rebuilding Marlins look destined for a 10th consecutive losing season. The Milwaukee Bucks take a 2-1 series lead against the Celtics. Giannis Antetokounmpo led the Bucks with 32 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists, and 3 blocks in their 132-116 victory. The Bucks don't have a lot of experience in the playoffs, considering the last time they made it this far was 2001. The Bucks will continue to show their potentials with aggressive plays and at the top of their game. The women's hockey's 200 athletes, including stars Hillary Knight, Amanda Kessel, and Megan Dugan, announced that they won't be playing pro hockey this season. The players wrote a statement and posted it across social media saying having no health insurance and making as low as $2,000 a season means players can't adequately train and prepare to play at their highest level. We cannot make a sustainable living. They went on to say that it wasn't a boycott, but a gap year. The Chicago Bears search for a replacement for Cody Parkey, trying out 8 different kickers in their 3-day minicamp. Coach Nagy made the 8 kickers attempt the same 43-yard field goal that last January that would have advanced them further in the playoffs. The verdict? The Chicago kickers combined to go 2 of 8. Clowns. In baseball, the Padres scolded the Braves 11-2. The Mets turned the Reds red 1-0. The Rockies rocked the Brewers 11-6. The Twins exploded the Astros 8-2. The Royals got royally flushed by the Rays 3-1. The Nationals flew past the Cardinals 2-1. White Sox proved to be the superior stock against the Red Sox 6-4. The Angels floated above the Blue Jays 6-2. In hockey, the Bruins topped the Blue Jackets 4-1. The Avalanche crushed the Sharks 3-0. In the NBA, the 76ers chomped those Raptors 111-95. That was your KJLA 680 Sports Update. I'm Lindsay Fisher. Coming up next, it's the All-Star Radio, brought to you by Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Thank you, Lindsay. And you're listening to the All-Star Radio in sunny California. I'm Lorraine, along with Keith Moffat to my left and Michael Anderson. And we have a special guest this evening, James Shippey. Thank you for making the time to come by. And tonight, you're going to be speaking about baseball.
Yeah, I'll be doing a Cubs update pretty soon. I think for all those baseball fans out there, I'm sure they'll love it.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to that. But first, Sports Update is brought to you by Halo Vegan Ice Cream. NBA Finals, Raptors versus Warriors in Game 3. 15 days have passed since the NFL Draft. Rumors flying, is it rigged? Stanley Cup Finals, can Boston bring it home? We'll have more after this short commercial. But first, we have Keith.
Hi.
I'm sorry. Michael, can you tell us about the NBA? What's going on?
Yes, I can. Thank you, Lorraine. Well, we have the NBA Finals of 2019. The Golden State Warriors return home to the Oracle Arena tonight for Game 3. Riding the momentum following their victory Sunday over the Toronto Raptors that tied the series at 1-1. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you Californians might be happy, and I feel sorry for you people up in Canada. Kevin Durant remains out with a strained calf suffered in Game 5 in the Western Conference semifinals against Houston. He has not taken part in a formal practice since the injury, casting doubt on his ability to return in this series. Warriors guard Klay Thompson is listed as questionable after suffering a mild strain to his left hamstring in Game 2. He practiced on Tuesday and said the pain was bearable. It will be a game decision, but for me personally, it will be hard to see me not playing. Thompson told media, hopefully, I will feel much better Wednesday and be a go for a tip-off. Golden State Warrior Kevin Looney suffered a non-displaced cartilage fracture on the right side of his collarbone area and will miss the remainder of the series. Well, Steve Kerr, I guess he's still thinking it's going to be a big loss. What do you think about that, Shippy? You think the Raptors look to rebound the following and miserable third quarter in Game 2 when the Warriors started the second half on an 18-0 run on the way to 109-104 victory?
Oh, so you want to know my opinion?
I would love to know your opinion.
Okay.
Looks like you're going to have another upset.
Look, I'm going to tell you, the Raptors gave the Warriors a stimulus package. That game. They should have won it. It was the second game at home. They were up against this walking, what do you call it? And it's a hospital, right? When people, like a triage unit or something. Of that nature.
A little hospice.
Okay? Exactly. But look, they're back. I think they took them for granted. They're back in Game 3 now. Last I checked, the score is, 52-38. They're in firm control, which they should be, because Klay Thompson is missing now. So there's no excuses.
Well, it's kind of like when you underestimate a giant. What do you think, Mel?
You know, I see this agenda being pushed so often in this series, and it's that Kawhi is this, born savior, that he's come to rescue us all from the Warriors. But that's simply not true. The Warriors are just too good. Warriors aren't going to let it happen. They have too many star players, too much firepower, too much offense, too much defense to be stopped at this point.
And what do you think? What do you think, Michael, between Shippy and Mallet here?
You know, it's kind of a hard decision. But see, you have players like Pascal Siakam, which was held to 12 points of a 5-18 shooting after a 32-point game performance in Game 1, 14-17 from the floor. Kyle Lowry also struggled, scoring 13 points before fouling out in the fourth quarter. Even though we have a lot of injuries, we're still performing well. I see them taking another victory with ease.
You know, Kyle Lowry is the worst player in playoff history. I do not care. Kyle Lowry.
Here we go.
Kyle Lowry goes from a bona fide NBA star in the regular season to it should be a backup point guard during playoffs. He has no playmaking ability. He has no shooting during playoffs. When the players get better, he gets worse.
He reminds me of Kurt Rambis from the Los Angeles Lakers in the 80s.
Okay, hold on. Well, no, Kurt Rambis obviously was an important player for the, like I said, he was the bouncer at the club, right?
Hey.
Here's the thing. Look, Mao, you're entitled to your opinion even if it's wrong.
Of course,
okay?
of course.
I want to just get that right out the way. I don't have the stats in front of me, okay, to say how great Kyle Lowry has been. Yes, he's been kind of missing in action. Is he Kyrie Irving? Is he Steph Curry? No.
Okay. Now, we can't even compare him to Kyrie Irving.
No,
you got to
can't.
slow down.
No, exactly. But here's the thing. Toronto's got that defense. And I got to get, we got to talk to our intern, maybe the intern, our intern Anthony. He's working on the stats. He's going to get it to me. But basically, they have a great defensive rating. They're one of the best defensive teams. They have the second best record in the league. That's not by accident. Now, the problem is you do have Kawhi. It is David versus Goliath. Because last I checked, the 73-9 win team goes out and gets the second best player in the league, and they want some sort of sympathy.
When is winning been an issue? When have we as sports fans, started taking issue with winning? That's ridiculous to me. I see the Warriors as a team who was great, and they added a great player, and that just makes them even greater.
It was the rich getting richer. You know this, Mowat.
I'm all for capitalism. That's why I live in the USA.
Well, that's fine. But I'd rather live in Sweden, where they have socialism. Everyone gets a piece of the pie.
See, Mao, you see, Shippy is going off Toronto Raptors in the first quarter having 36-29, then in the second half, 19-15. But when it came to the game ending, you still have 55-47. So what Mao is expressing to you is the perseverance of the team. Even though we have injured playing, we're playing with injuries, mind you. It's kind of like Kobe in the fourth quarter scoring 88. Of course. We might see that again.
I'd almost say it's unfair to have the kind of reserves that the Warriors have. When has Andre Iguodala been considered a reserve player on all teams? He's not. He's a great player.
He's a Finals MVP.
He's a Finals MVP. Exactly, and he's a great reserve player. Kevin Looney's a great reserve player. They have a whole amazing reserve staff. And I think if you take out all those starters, they're still competing.
No, they're still competing. That's why I say even though they're missing 2 out of their top 3 players, they still got Draymond, who's the engine of that team.
Oh, of course.
He's a great player.
Gotta love Draymond.
Great all-around player. I call him LeBron James light.
Oh,
Of course.
And they still have Iggy. So anything's possible. If I was in Vegas, there's 2 teams I would not bet against. That's the Patriots of New England.
Of course
And-
not.
Yes, it's the
Could not.
Patriots of New England, and it's the Warriors of Golden State.
All right.
I mean, but that's my head thinking. My heart, I'm going for the underdog. That's all I'm saying.
Even with
Respect.
McKinnon,
I respect it.
Cook, Bogut, Carey, Draymond, that's almost like an all-star winning team. And you're still going to have heart for Toronto?
Yes, because heart and head are 2 different things. Like I said, if I'm in Vegas, I will hold my nose and put money on Brady. As much as I can't stand the Patriots. Okay?
Well, that's called smart thinking.
Yeah, that's smart thinking, though, right? Because I want to win some money. But I'm going to tell you something. We never know, because these Raptors, they may shock the world. And I think the whole world, minus the state of California, is rooting for our friends up north. That's all I'm saying.
I think that's great. But right now, I think we have time. We're going to take a short commercial break after listening to KJ, after listening to your side and also Keith. And so we'll have more after this short commercial break. You're listening to KJLA, AM 680. Santa Monica, California.
Tired of slow internet access? Then it's time to get Spectrum Internet with the fastest starting speeds for the price of 200 megabytes, delivering more speed, more consistency for better surfing, streaming, and gaming. Yours from $89.98 a month with Spectrum TV. Call 800-777-7777. Get Spectrum TV with more free HD and more on demand from $89.98 a month with Spectrum Internet. Call 800-777-7777. Get Spectrum TV and Internet today from $89.98 a month with no contracts. Call 800-777-7777 now.
When you're young, you want to play with your friends. You want to win against your opponents. You want to be the best you can be. Your thirst to strive for greatness becomes more and more real. Every day you're thirsty for your goal. Every time you think about it, you get thirstier. When the competition gets harder, when your body feels weaker, you need something to quench your thirst. But to go all out and to be the best, you need the extra fuel, the extra hydration, and replenish yourself. So if you want to be the strongest, play the hardest, you need the extra fuel to get you there. Gatorade, the extra juice, the extra push, the extraordinary.
I have so many money issues. Bills are piling up, student loans are through the roof, landlord is bugging me with rent, and I'm eating crackers and cup of noodles, and it's just impossible to make a car payment. But at Costa Mesa Honda, they have affordable payment plans, so I can drive away with a nice new car and not sweat it out if I can't make the payment. Costa Mesa Honda has affordable payment plans to work within your budget, so I can actually drive a car bigger than this car that looks like a Matchbox car or a golf cart, and enjoy having a nice, reliable, beautiful Honda. Come by it and test drive a new Accord, a Civic, a Pilot, a Ridgeline, or the all-new Honda Fit. Speaking of fit, they have 0% financing. Now that will fit into anyone's budgetary plan. Costa Mesa Honda, Harbor Boulevard off the 405 freeway. Log on to cmhhonda.com for a good deal now. That's Costa Mesa Honda.
You're listening to KJLA AM 680 Santa Monica, California, and you're tuned into All Star Radio. I'm Lorraine Perez, and we have Keith, Michael, and our special guest, James Shippey, here. And on that note, what do you think about, you were just talking about the NBA, and I know there was some controversy there going on. It was pretty heated. What do you think about Stephen Curry? What's your viewpoint on that, on Stephen Curry?
Steph Curry is the best player in the NBA. He makes a team great. He brings players to him. He makes players better. I think there's no better team player in the NBA. No better player, for that matter. No better shooter. No better person in the NBA than Steph Curry.
It's very interesting. I'm sorry, because I feel like a guest in your house, but, sometimes a guest has to do what he's got to do, okay? Especially when I hear some nonsense like that. Let's just be honest with each other. How many finals has Steph Curry been to? Just out of curiosity.
Enough to win 3.
Okay.
Let me get a high five on
I
that
can't
one.
argue with that. But how many MVPs in the finals does he have?
Bay
That's the
Area.
thing. That's why he's the greatest teammate in the NBA. He lets his other players do what they have to do to win these series. Because he has more than one star player. He has more than 2 star players. He gives it. He just gives his players better opportunities than anyone else in the NBA.
Similar to Michael Jackson. Michael Jordan in the 80s.
Too soon?
Too soon.
Yeah. Michael Jordan in the 80s. No, here's the thing, though. Steph Curry, he's great, but he's not even the best player on his team, let alone the best player in the league. Best player in the league is an argument I personally believe is still LeBron James. I know those haters out there are going to try and argue otherwise.
You said who?
LeBron James, King James.
I didn't see him too much this year.
Oh, well, he was hurt a little bit. He still averaged 27, 8, and 8 in his 15th season in the league. I'm not wrong.
As a
15,
professional
16
player,
season.
we understand that you're going to get hurt, but players like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Steph Curry play with injuries every year.
LeBron James has never been injured until this year, into his 15th or 16th season, because he is an Iron Man. He spends $1 million on his body, but I don't want to get too carried away, because I know you Bay Area fans are all in your feelings about this. Steph Curry, he's all right. He's all right. I mean, he's got a J, but you can take him away. I mean, he needs screens. He needs screens. He needs a whole bunch of flash and dash. You can't even breathe on this guy because of these rules. The best player in the league is LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, and maybe Kevin Durant after that.
See, here's where you're wrong, James.
Yeah,
the NBA
James,
has
right.
evolved, okay? It's evolved. And Steph Curry was the quickest to evolve with the game. And Steve Kerr probably brought that evolution with his quick screens, quick threes. I mean, they play the best basketball in the NBA. You look at the Rockets and they try and copy it, but they're obviously fraud. I think we see them and we see their cracks and we see where they go wrong. They shoot more threes than the Warriors do, and that's concerning when they don't have the firepower that the Warriors do.
No, that's true. I won't argue with that. And look,
you.
I'm being a Houston boy. Look, like I said, we were pulling hard, and I keep saying last year, if my man Chris Paul didn't get hurt, we would have went to the finals last year. But the problem with the Houston Rockets, and nothing against D'Antoni, but they're two-dimensional. It's either a 3 or they're just trying to drive to the basket. No mid-range games whatsoever.
And
that'll
that's
come
what the
back to
Warriors
bite you.
provide.
You're right. Warriors are a complete team. They're a great team. They pass the ball around. They're unselfish. So I can't hate on it. But I'm just kind of tired of seeing it at this point.
Fair.
Yes.
So do you fellas mind if we switch gears? I just wanted to get your
What do you
opinion on
want?
the NFL lottery.
Draft.
We got the NFL
draft.
draft.
There's no
Yeah.
lottery for the NBA
Yeah.
or NFL. My bad.
So you have Byron Murphy, Arizona Cardinals, Rock Ya-Sin, Indianapolis Colts, Jawan Taylor, Jacksonville Jaguars, Deebo Samuels for the San Francisco 49ers, best wide receiver in the league, thank you. Great Little, Carolina Panthers, Cody Ford, Buffalo Bills, Sean Bunting, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Trayvon Mullen, Oakland Raiders, defensive back. So who do you all think is going to win this year?
Well, okay. So I have a lot of winners and I have a lot of losers from this year's draft. And my winners, team-wise, are the Giants and the Redskins. Now, people are going to scoff when they see the Giants up here. But they got Daniel Jones, who, regardless of how good he does, he was their guy. And they were going to go get their guy. And they ended up getting Dexter Lawrence, DeAndre Baker, and Julian Love. By the way, DeAndre Baker and Julian Love were both up for best DB in college football this year. I don't know how they got both of them, but they made that secondary lethal.
Money talks.
Big moves, big moves. And then as far as players go, winning-wise, I'd say I'd have Kyler Murray up there just because he's a 5'10 quarterback. How often do we see 5'10
quarterback?
5'10 quarterback.
Yeah.
He could be a legal midget. So
He reminds me of Steve Young.
That's cold.
I don't see Kyler going first overall to any other team but the Cardinals. And if the Cardinals had a quarterback who, say, wasn't Cliff Kingsbury, who's wanted to coach Kyler his whole career, he wouldn't have gone first. They had a QB they drafted in the first round last year, but I don't see the rationale in drafting Kyler Murray. He may be amazing. I just don't see it.
Well, you know what? On that note, my board's it looks like Christmas. It's been lit up since you guys started in on like NBA. So I think we'll just take a couple calls. Let me see.
Oh, yes. from the Bay Area.
Bay Area over there.
We have young Anthony Walker.
Here we go.
My God.
Anthony, what do you have for us? Any comments on this NBA argument here that's going back and forth? This
Here we go.
Controversy.
Yes, the NBA argument. Thank you for having me on your show. Believe it or not, I agree with Shippy when it comes to Stephen Curry. I've been watching the Warriors for a long time, and he just doesn't seem to come through in the clutch. Now, I got a great story. I actually, this is only first-hand knowledge that I know this, but I actually beat Stephen Curry in middle school.
Oh my.
You're all right with me?
The only thing you got to do with Stephen Curry is just tell him that his jumper is terrible, and he'll choke.
Doesn't
Smart
seem like
caller.
it's worked so far, but
Smart caller.
valuable information.
But thanks for
Thank
your
you.
advice,
you
Anthony.
for-
But we're gonna have to go to the next caller. Now, who we gonna go? Oh, who's that? Caesar in Chicago. How you doing today, sir?
Doing good. This question's for Maui.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
of course. Okay.
So, how do you consider Curry the best player when he's not even a two-way player?
It will be more like a three-way player, right, Milo?
I think he's a all-around player. I think that he makes organizations better by being there. I'd say maybe his defense is a little lackluster. Maybe. But
Maybe.
then again, his MVP year, did he not lead the league in steals? Because he did.
Ooh, that part.
Steals doesn't mean anything. That means
I mean,
you're
steals is one of the four
And he's
defensive
playing
stats
safety
you
on
can
defense,
calculate.
he's a liability, and he's probably on the weakest players.
Liability was leading the lead in steals.
I don't
Allen
think a
Iverson led the
unanimous
league in steals
MVP you
before. Didn't
could
make him
ever
a great
call a
defensive
liability.
That would be
player.
an asset. If you're stealing the ball, the other team can't score, right, Ship?
Well, yes, but I mean, like as I said, Allen Iverson's led the league in steals one time back in the day, and that didn't make him a great defensive player. Like I said, when you're great defensively, depending on who you defend. And every night, and like I said, thanks Caesar for calling. Caesar and Anthony.
Caesar.
Let me just say this really quick. You guys have some very smart callers that call into the show. I really like these listeners.
Until they
You should
bump
have me
their
on more
heads.
often. But like I said, if your defense is based off of who you're guarding. In every game, Steph Curry, they try and hide him every game because he's a liability.
I think they hide him because maybe he's not the best defensive player on the court, but that's pretty much impossible to do when your roster's built out of the best players in the NBA.
Yeah.
Boogie? I mean, where did Boogie come from? He's
I'm going
Go
to
ahead.
stop you on that. You know what? There's another call I'd like to take, and Anthony's been, I know he wants to
Anthony's
talk to
calling
us.
back?
Yeah,
wow,
he has
okay.
some
I
more
love it.
Through
input.
again.
So let's see where
Very
this is
persistent.
going.
Oh, where's this
Anthony from Sacramento.
That's right.
Oh,
Very close to Oakland, but anyway.
I think that Maui guy is paid by the Giants because I get how New York has any chance of, maybe winning at least 2 games this year. But I think the NFL draft didn't work out for them some way, somehow. I'm a big Phillies fan, or excuse me, Philadelphia Eagles fan. So, just hearing it talk about the Giants is very disrespectful to my ears. And
well, look, man, don't you worry about that, Anthony, because your Eagles, you got a lot of experts that think you guys might get back to the championship again. So I'll be rooting for
The
anybody but the
championship?
Patriots. Anybody but the Patriots.
Oh, see, that's what me and you gonna have to part ways, Shippy.
Oh, you're a Patriots and of
New
course you're a
England.
Patriots and
I didn't
Warriors
know
fan.
you were a
Of
Patriots
course you
fan.
like that.
Big time.
Now,
you haven't seen my
speaking of
apparel?
the Patriots, I do want to talk about one more winner from this year's draft, N'Keal Harry. N'Keal Harry is a monster out of ASU, highly considered the best player or best wide receiver in the draft, other than maybe a little Hollywood Brown, but it's indifferent. So I see N'Keal Harry as just an animal, and you put him with Tom Brady, like that's a Randy Moss 2.0 late in his career.
Well, thank you, Keith.
And we used to play Pop Warner.
We're going to take a
Oh,
break right now.
fun
We're
fact.
going to continue with KJLA AM 680 with the All-Star Radio with yourself, Keith, myself, Lorraine Perez, our special guest, James, and Anderson here. So we'll be right back.
Have you experienced any uncomfortable moment at the construction site or warehouse? Maybe every time a coworker lifts a box, he grunts like a giraffe is giving birth. Or you've just seen way too many butt cracks. Call the Timberland Pro Uncomfortable Moments hotline at 1-800-COMFORT. Tell us your real uncomfortable moments you have experienced. Not only could your story become our next radio commercial, but getting it off your chest will make you so much more comfortable. Just call Timberland Pro work shirts, pants, and boots head to toe. Call 1-800-COMFORT today. Again, that's 1-800-COMFORT.
Thank you, Kate.
Not 30 days away, not 20 days away. The time to save is now. During the hot summer days of the Ford year-end event at your Southern California Ford dealer. Make no payments till July on some of the most stylish, high-tech, and efficient rides around. So don't come up empty. You want a deal that'll make your summer. Get to your Southern California Ford dealer now and cap off the summer with huge cash back on the perfect car, truck, or SUV to kickstart the good times. Now get up to $10,773 in total value plus $1,000 Smart Bonus Cash Plus. Just announced $500 Hot Summer Bonus Cash on the F-150. Only at your local Southern California Ford dealer. For more info, log on to buyfordnow.com.
You're listening to KJLA at AM 680 Los Angeles, and you're tuned into All Star Radio. I'm Lorraine. I have Keith with me. James is in the house, and we have Anderson. So let's get back to this NFL draft here.
I actually think that James has a special report for us.
I do, yes. I do have a special report. No, thank you. Like I said, you get me started on football and basketball.
I was just sending you back to football here.
So, but I wanted to make a baseball update, have a nice feature story. The Cubs get their guy. The top closer in last winter's free agent market and one of the best relievers in baseball history finally has a new team. According to Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic, the Chicago Cubs and Craig Kimbrell have agreed to a contract. The team is not yet confirmed the signing. Kimbrell turned 31 last month, and while some warning flags exist, he remains on the short list of the best closers in the game. He went 42 for 47 and saved chances with the Red Sox last season, striking out 96 batters with a 2.74 ERA in 62 and a third innings. Opponents' hits, 146, 260, 305 against him with nearly 3 strikeouts for every 2 base runners. The 2019 amateur draft took place early this week, meaning Kimbrell and Dallas Keuchel is no longer tied to draft pick compensation. The Cubs will not surrender a pick to sign him, and the Red Sox will not receive a pick for losing him. Draft pick compensation was reportedly one reason Kimbrell remained unsigned, even though pretty much every contender could use him. Chicago's bullpen has struggled at times this year, with the team's relievers combining for a 4.02 ERA. With Kimbrell presumably set to take over as a closer, manager Joe Matton's bullpen figures to look like this going forward. Brandon Morrow, who was signed to be a closer last year, has not pitched since last July 15th due to injuries. It's possible he could return at some point to make Chicago's bullpen even stronger, though Morrow's return is not imminent. Kimbrell has reportedly been throwing on his own these last few weeks and months, though it is likely he will have to pitch in some minor league games before joining the Cubs. His arm is in shape, and that's half the battle. He still has to get game ready and prepare to face big league hitters. It could be a week or two until he's available. The Cubs go into Wednesday's game with a 33-26 record that has them percentage points ahead of the Brewers in the NL Central. It has previously been reported that Ben Zobrist's family-related stint on the restricted list could free up enough money. The players are not paid while on the restricted list to sign Kimbrell, and that seems to be exactly what happened. With 333 career saves, Kimbrell is currently 14th on the all-time saves list, and even after sitting out the first few weeks of 2019, he has a chance to climb into the top 10 on the saves leaderboard by season's end.
Interesting.
Yeah, Kimbrell's 333 career saves are the most ever by a pitcher through his age 30 season. Now here's the leaderboard and how it sounds. Number 1, Craig Kimbrell, 333 saves. Number 2, Francisco Rodriguez, 294 saves. 3, Houston Street, 275 saves. Number 4, Kenley Jansen of the Dodgers, 268 saves. 5, Rod Beck, 260 saves. Now, Mariano Rivera, the all-time saves king with 652, had only 165 saves to his credit through his age 30 season. Kimbrell is well ahead of that pace. That said, Rivera pitched at an extremely high level through age 43, which is not easy to do. Still, Kimbrell does have a chance to break Rivera's all-time saves record at some point, as long as he stays healthy.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah,
You know, you
that's
gotta
true.
root for a guy like Craig Kimbrell. Like he's been at the top of his game since he was a rookie in Atlanta. He's just been pitching heat after heat after heat,
No, of
save
course.
after save after save. He's a menace on the mound. You
No,
love
he
to
is.
see it.
He
You
is.
love
I
to
know
see it.
we were talking over the break. On the break, you were saying basically, I mean, he
Yeah.
inspired you to play baseball growing up.
First baseball pitcher I'd ever seen close.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But let me just say one quick thing. I had to say this to Rain because look, I'm a Bruin. I'm a proud Bruin. And you went off on Kyle Murray and all this stuff. And let me just say, my man Josh Rosen got a raw deal.
Oh, he did.
This
And I agree with
offseason.
you there.
That's what
Maybe
we
the
agree.
only thing we ever agree
Yeah,
on.
exactly. This is something we agree on, okay? They treated him like the mistress instead of the wife.
Oh, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They ship him to Miami, which is Siberia as long as Brady's still playing. I just want to say that, Josh Rosen, we are rooting for you.
Yeah.
We still got love for you out here, buddy.
Tough
Yeah.
situation he's in, but I mean, I'm sure he'll come through.
Yeah.
Living in Miami,
Yeah.
getting paid $1 million.
No taxes.
Can't be too
no
bad.
state taxes.
Yeah.
He'll be fine,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
feeling sorry for him.
I had one question, though, about the NFL draft that I heard a rumor that it was rigged. Do you know anything about that? That, there was just slight rumors that it might be, rigged of some sort? What's your opinion on that?
No,
Because
Lorraine, are you sure
basically
it's
it's a
that?
pretty-
Or are you talking about maybe
Yeah.
the NBA draft, which is more
The
of a lottery?
NBA,
Oh.
the NBA draft is what I was talking about. It
yeah,
was just,
I gotta
that was
say,
just a
this-
slight rumor that I heard, and I really did, wanted to ask you guys in your opinion.
For years now, it seemed like the NBA is rigged, but I do not think it is rigged anymore. Now that Zion is going to the Pelicans, who wants to go to the Pelicans?
Poor guy.
Anthony Davis is at the top of his game. He doesn't even want to be on Pelicans.
If he doesn't,
No.
bring him to the Lakers.
I mean, if
No, we don't want him.
New Orleans ends up getting RJ and they end up getting Zion, it's a whole different story. Whole different story. But if they stick with Anthony Davis and they put Zion through, mentorship through a guy who doesn't even want to be there,
Not going to happen.
what are we gonna see?
Anthony Davis, because I know you mentioned a number 3. That's all New York has. They have no other pieces. Lakers have all the pieces. Now, I wish that they could just get a free agent and keep these guys. Brandon
Yeah.
Ingram, he's a blue chip prospect. As long as he stays healthy.
Blue chip.
Lonzo Ball, I have faith in him. But you know what? Anthony Davis is one of the top 5 players in the league.
Yeah.
At least top 6 or 7. You got to do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
I heard today, I was hearing through the ticker while I was speaking to a couple people's camps. I was making a couple phone calls. I was talking to, according to a few sources, Anthony Davis, they would trade him for, it's got to be Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, and a number 4 pick.
I can
we
see
keep
that.
Kyle Kuzma and hopefully Josh Hart, and we just get a whole bunch of 3-and-D guys. I think we'd be good. We'd be in the Western Conference Finals next year.
I could see
I
that.
agree. I see that.
I could
What do you
see
think?
I could see the Lakers on the upswing here. I mean, if they get Anthony Davis, that just makes the team so much more powerful. They just were missing that big man, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah,
'Cause no one else is coming.
I agree.
Kawhi's not coming. Kyrie ain't coming.
Clay ain't coming.
Kyrie would be
coming.
nice. Kyrie would be nice.
Oh, Kyrie would be nice.
KD ain't coming.
KD ain't coming. I don't want KD personally. Okay, I know he's a great player, but he's kind of a head case.
But why is that?
Too sensitive.
Why?
There's
think
nothing
so?
wrong with that. I'm a sensitive guy, but
Hey.
I don't want my basketball players sensitive.
Not at all.
Now, I have a question to ask you now that you've said that. You said earlier that Steph Curry was not even the best player on his team. And now that you
He's
are
not.
saying that KD is a head case, I just want to know, who is the best players on the Warriors?
Well, we're not talking about the mental and all that stuff. I don't know KD. Nothing against him. If I saw, I'm saying all this now, I'd be a fanboy if he was sitting right there right now. I'd be
course.
trying to get selfies and all that stuff and trying to get him to have me on Instagram.
Like most of us?
You know, like most of us,
That's
right? But no, as far
all
as
about-
just straight skill, Kevin Durant is unguardable.
Fair.
He's unguardable. What is he, 7 foot? 7 foot?
he's
He's
close.
the most unguardable
Like
player since
6'10".
maybe Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, right, with the sky hook. He doesn't do that. But, I mean, once he goes up for the J, that's it.
Yeah.
He can pull up from 40, 30, 20. Like, you can't
doesn't matter.
guard this man. And he's got great defense. But, like I said, if you were forced to it, Kevin Durant, and he doesn't need screens. He can get off on his own. Nothing against Steph Curry, but Steph needs a little bit of help.
I just have a little comment that I want to just calm this so it stays a little calmer here.
You want to switch
But
gears?
yeah, I want to switch gears just a little bit. Where I think there are so many phenomenal male athletes out there, but I do have to comment on the women in sports. I mean,
okay.
I don't know if you watched the UCLA women's softball game
Of
yesterday.
course.
Got her up the
yeah,
Bruins.
UCF Bruins represent.
Look,
of course.
the board just lit up and we have a caller.
Oh.
So, tell me, Cade from Hollywood.
Hollywood?
Yeah, what do you have to say about UCLA women's
Well, I
softball?
was sitting in my room and we were up four to three, and I'm just like three more outs, and we got this. And of course, we had to give up a home run with 2 outs left. I'm just like, oh, gee. And then all of a sudden, Catherine Washington. I don't know how to say her first
Yeah,
name,
the
but,
Washington.
Miss Washington,
Carrie.
the daughter of a football pro, comes through.
Yeah, they
walk off to win it.
they took it 5-2.
Yeah.
Look, that Cade the caller, he's right. I don't want to sound like a homer here, but UCLA is one of the best, if not the best, public university institutions in this, I could say the planet. I'm not going to go that far. But in this country, one of the best. Jackie Robinson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, John Wooden, plenty of female athletes. As we say, the UCLA softball, last year they won a gymnastic award. Shout out to Rochelle Harris, good friend of mine, Rochelle Dennis, excuse me. But great institution that does great with research, with athletic prowess, everything. It's a great university.
Forgot about Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook.
It might be the floors on the Poly Pavilion that's creating all these stars.
Maybe,
that bounce
man.
back.
Now, I don't want to stir up too much controversy here, but who do you guys think is the best woman athlete of all time?
Oh, good question.
I would have
let
to
the
say,
lady go
you
first.
know
Yeah.
what? I would
Lorraine,
have to
what do you
say
think?
it was Jackie Joyner. She was just phenomenal. I mean, she was the first lady of American athlete. She competed in the Olympic Games, the U.S. from '84 to, I believe it was '96.
Yeah.
She earned medals both in the women's heptathlon and the women's long jump. I mean, and right under her, I would have to say Mia Hamm.
And she was a UCLA grad.
Yes, she was.
Yes.
I'm going to have to say it was Dominique Dawes. 10-year member of the U.S. Gymnastics, 1994.
Dominique Dawes.
U.S.
champion.
Yeah, she was
Short,
really
little, beautiful.
You're all speaking greatness here.
I like
But-
that there's all this.
But Serena Williams.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
Serena-
2 for 2
that's
now.
two now.
Yes,
2 out of
yes.
3.
Serena
Amazing.
Williams has the most dominant run of I don't even care. She's one of the most dominant athletes of all time. I put her in the top
She's
3
the best
dominant.
tennis athlete of all time. They say women. No.
Yeah.
She's the best tennis
Roger
athlete
Federer's
of all time.
out. Yeah.
He's out.
Serena Williams.
It's Serena
all the way.
Williams.
Yeah.
I like Serena.
You know what? We have time for one more call, and I want to call on Chanel. Chanel from Oklahoma.
Oh, Oklahoma. We got.
What do you
Oklahoma
have to say
listeners.
about women in sports, Chanel?
That's nice. How you doing?
Thanks. Doing fine.
How's
Thanks
the
for
weather
calling.
out there in Oklahoma?
That's nice. I am truly enjoying your show. And I mean, it's nice that you called on me to participate. But I'm good today. I'm just so turned on.
Well, I thought maybe you would want to tell us something because Oklahoma was like,
Do you
they
have a
lost.
favorite?
So much
They
for
lost
your
softball. But thank you so much
That's
for
gotta be your first phone
You can call back
yeah.
anytime.
Waited online.
She must not be feeling well. We had her waiting 30 minutes, but it's
Yeah.
okay. We're busy
Yeah,
over
I
here.
know.
All-star.
It gets
radio
long
show.
in the line, doesn't it? I think we have another
Well-
phone call for best woman athlete of all time. Does anybody have any?
Oh, Mrs. Fisher from Montana. How are you out there?
Montana.
Great, I'm great.
Nice.
I'm from Wisconsin.
Oh, okay, yeah, we
I
You
read
got
was
the
it wrong.
tracking
Yeah.
geolocation all wrong.
Intern gave us the wrong information.
Montana, Wisconsin.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I would have to say that any woman on the 1994 Olympics, Dominique Dawes, Carrie Strug,
Yes.
Shannon Miller, they were probably the best women team of all time.
Yeah.
Gold
Yeah.
gymnastics. So.
Well, on that note, thank you, Lindsay, for calling in. I really appreciate your comments on women in sports. But that's it for today. That's what we have for all the time for. Thank you for staying tuned in to KJLA AM 680 All-Star Radio, the #1 sports station in Santa Monica, California. I'm Lorraine Perez. I'm with Keith Mollett, Michael Anderson, and a big thanks to our special guest, James Shippey. And remember,
Thanks for having me.
yeah, thanks so
A lot
much.
of fun, guys.
So remember, I'm a big Stephen Curry fan, so what you do speaks louder than what you say.
Okay.
And on that note, have a great evening.